Yes, hello everyone. Today we are going to have an introduction to database software. Probably there are very many applications that can help you to hold a database, but today we are going to be much interested in Microsoft Access. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. So we are having our table here, which we are going to use to create a database, and we are having some instructions here. Part A says that create a database and save it as your name and student's number. So let us see how we can create a database. So you can come here on the Windows button, you click on it and just type there access. So the application will be displayed. You can click in it such that it can load. So you can open a blank database from here, and here they tell you to rename the file. So remember, they have told us to rename it as your name and student's number. For example, my name is Chimbugwe, Chimbugwera Store, and my student's number may be 540. So from here you can browse where you want your file to be stored. If you just click there, they will ask you to select where your file is going to be stored. For example, I can say that it is going to be stored on the desktop and I click OK. So you can just come here and create your file. So this is how database looks like. In most cases, they give you a table here, but some cases they may not bring there a table. For example, if it appears like this, just come to create and click in the table. So that table will be created there. So when we come back to our instructions, they say that create a table of students and name it students table. So we can come back to our access file and we rename this table as students table. To rename this table, you can right click in it and open its design view. Opening its design view, they will first ask you to rename your table. So as they have told us that you name it as students table, you can click there and type there students table. So you can press OK. When you press OK, they will open you to a view which is called design view of your database. Remember, we are having some two views here. We are having a datasheet view and a design view. Now in this design view is where you are going to type your fields. Remember, if we come back here, this is a table we want to take to the database. We are having these columns. These columns in database are called the fields, and the rows are the ones which are called the records. So now we are going to get these fields and type them here in the design view. So in the design view, you type there all the fields you are having. For example, the first field we are having is students number. So that is the student's number, and its data type we are going to give it, it will be an auto number. Okay, so assuming that I've typed all those fields here, we are having the student's number, the name, the date of birth, all of them that are here. So let us see what we call a data type of the database. So we are having very many data types here, and we are going to explain them one by one. We are having a short text. This one deals with data which is in form of a text. For example, a name which may go up to 255 characters. A longer text is also a type of a data type that deals with content which is going to be in form of a text, but this text is quite long, like a paragraph and a sentence. A number is our usual number, like 1, 2, 3. A large number is a number which is quite large. The date or time is when your data is going to appear in form of a date or in form of time. Date or time extended is also when you having data in form of a date, but probably if it is encoded string of 42 bytes. Now we are having currency if your data is monetary. For example, money like Ugandan shillings, dollars, you can use currency. There is an auto number. This one is automatically generated by the database and it appears in form of 1, 2, 3, but it is automatically generated. There is yes or no. This one creates for you a checkbox whereby you have to check it so that it is yes, and if you uncheck it, it means no. There is an only object. This one deals with data which is in form of pictures, graphs, and what, which goes up to 2 GB. There is a hyperlink which gives you when your data is in form of maybe a hyperlink or a link that links to internet, or when it links to any different network, you can use hyperlink. There is an attachment when you want to attach a record, maybe a photo or any text. There is calculated whereby a field is going to be got out of a certain expression which you have to type there in your computer. There is lookup wizard whereby you type there different options that can help you to choose on rather than typing all of them in the table, as we are going to see. So for example here, the student's number, when we come back to our data here, the student's number is STO123. We can see that this STO is repeated all through. So we can come here and assign a data type of auto number to our student's number. The name, we can leave it as a short text. The date of birth, we can give it a data type of date or time. The registration status, we can give it yes or no because the student may be registered or no. The fees paid, this one is going to be a currency. The gender, now for this gender, when we come back here on our table, we can see that the gender is either male or a female. So from there, we can use what we call lookup wizard. So if you click here, you come to lookup wizard. You click here, I'll type in the values that I want. You say next. So from here, you type in different options. Like for example, I can type there male, and if someone is not male, that person will be a female. So after typing that, you say next, and don't check these ones, okay? Because here they say that allow multiple values, whereby in case you want both of them, but for us we are interested in only one. So there is this parent's number. This parent's number, of course, it is a telephone number. We can give it a data type as number, okay? So after doing that, we save our changes. You say okay, and come back to our datasheet view. So in our datasheet view, I've tried to type one of the records here. You can see that since we gave this one an auto number, it has automatically come as 1, but we want to format it such that it starts with STO1, okay? So even this one, the fees, you can see that we have to modify them. Even this parent's number, it is not, the 0 is not displayed there. If we just try to type there a 0, the 0 will not be displayed, okay? So we are going to format those ones. So when we come back to our question, they say that use yes or no data type for registration status field. We have done that. Format the fees paid field so that all amounts start with UGX and apply 1,000 separators on it. We are going to format it. Use lookup wizard for the gender field. We have done. Enter the data given in the table. So if we just come back here on our table, which is the students table, and come back to our design view, we can see that this student's number was starting with STO. So we have to make sure that all values entered there must start with STO. What do? We open quotations and type there STO, okay, and close them, and then put there a hash. The meaning of this one, this STO enclosed in the brackets means that for it, it is not going to change, it is going to be common. And this hash is going to represent the other last number, maybe 1, 2, 3, and like that. So after doing that, we come to fees paid. This one is currency. Remember, they want that currency to start with UGX. So you can tap here and open quotes. You type there UGX and you put there a space and close the quotations. Now the meaning of this one, that means it is going to be repeated all through UGX. And they told us to apply 1000 separators. How do you apply 1000 separators? You put there a hash, a comma, a hash, hash, hash. This means that our data is going to be separated in 33, which we call 1000 separator. So from here, you can remove the default value, okay? So here the gender is okay, but now the parent is number. Now the parent is number, remember the first zero was not displayed there. So you can come here to a format and enclose a zero in quotations such that that first zero is always there, and you put there a hash to represent the other last numbers, okay? That means to start with zero and other numbers. So even here we remove a default value. So you can save your changes and come back to come back to a datasheet view. You will see that this student's number has automatically been placed there as STO01, and also this value of the currency UGX is the first all through. Even this telephone number of the parent 0 has been placed there. So what we are going to do is entering our data into the table. Provided we have entered the data into the table, for example, if I'm having this table, if my data has been entered like that one, this is what we call a checkbox, which is a yes or no. If you click in it, it will be checked. Even there is this one which we call the lookup wizard. Remember the lookup wizard, we typed there male and female. So you just have to select one of them. For all of them, okay, you select male or female. That is what we call the lookup wizard. So when we come back to our questions, we have entered the data. Our question H says that change the date format for the date of birth field to appear in the form this one. This is the form which we want to format our date of birth. If we come back to our data, you can see that this is the format we are having, but now they want us to change the format. So you can come back to the design view and click here to the date of birth. After clicking there, you can give it a format which they have selected in the question. Remember, we are having very many date formats here. There is this general date, long date, medium. So in case you want to use any of these ones, you can use it. But now the one they have given us is not there, so we shall just have to type it there. Now it is starting with a date, so we can type there DD to represent the date, and we put there a slash and type there MMM. MMM represents a month which is going to have 3 digits, okay, or 3 letters. If we type there MM, that means our month will be displayed as 2 digits, not letters. But now if we type there MMM, it will be displayed in form of letters. So we apply another slash and we type there YYYY to represent the year, which is going to have 4 digits. If we make them 3, that means the year will have 3 digits, but now we are having 4 digits of the year. So that it will be our date format, okay? So if we save the changes and come back here to the datasheet view, you will see that our date of birth has been formatted in that way. So if we come back to our question, the question said that set a validation rule for the fees paid so that students must deposit at least 200,000 and an appropriate validation rule. So what do they mean here? We are having students, the school fees which has been paid by the students now here. But they want us to put there an instruction such that a student who has paid less than 200,000 cannot be entered in the system, okay? So you can come back to our design view here and it goes to fees paid. There is what we call a validation rule and a validation text. We want all students to at least deposit a minimum of 200,000. That means they must have deposited 200,000 and above. So you can place there a greater sign, an equal sign, and type there 200,000. That means all students must at least pay something above this one. And put there a validation text. which we can, they said an appropriate one, we can type there, fees must be above 200,000. Okay, after doing that, we can save our changes, we can say yes, and come back to our datasheet view. So if we type there any value of the school fees below 200,000, for example 150,000, the computer will not allow, it will tell you fees must be above 200,000. Okay, so we replace our value 110,000. So if we come back to our question, they say that create a new field called balance to calculate the fees balance if the total fees to be paid is 450,000. So if we come back to our database, they want us to create a new field here, which is going to calculate the balance. Remember, they have told us that the total amount to be paid is 450, but there are these people who have paid less than that. So they want us to calculate the balance which is remaining. So you can come back to our design view and apply a new field here, which is called balance. It's called balance. And now this balance is going to be a difference of 450 minus the amount deposited. So we can use a field which is called calculated. If you type there calculated, you can come here in the expression builder and type there an expression which is going to calculate balance. Remember, balance is going to be 450,000 minus the amount deposited. Now the amount deposited is in the field of fees paid. Okay, so minus this one, you can just double click there and they bring it there. So this is the expression which is going to help us to calculate the balance. Okay, so you can just click OK. You come here, save the changes, you come back here, you will see that the balance has been brought here. But now let us go back to the design view and format it such that it can also have 1000 separators. When you click there, you come to format and you type there hash, comma, hash, hash, hash. So if we save our changes and come back here, you will see that our data has been formatted in a nice way, whereby we are having 1000 separators. So this is the balance they want. If we come back to the question, they say that create a data entry form for your data and name it entry form. So if we come back to our database here, they want us to create a data entry form. So you can just click in the students table, you come to create and come to a form wizard here. When you click in the form wizard, they will ask you the fields which you want to appear in the form. So you can click here to select all of them. Okay, if you just click here, you just be selecting one by one. Okay, but now this one helps you to select all of them at once. So we say next, and here we can say next, and the name given here is going to be a student's form. You can name it as a student's form, and we finish. So our form is going to be created here. So this form is going to help us to enter the data into the table. So when we come back to our question, they say that create a query for the students whose name starts with the letter K and name it starts K. Okay, so we are going to create a query in our database which is going to select out all the students whose names starts with letter K, like Kako, Keo, and Kachi. Okay, so you can just select our table, you come to create and come to what we call a query design. You can just click on the query design, you double click on the students table such that it can appear here. So you can just click here to select all the fields and bring them here. Okay, so all the fields has been brought here. So now they want us to select all those names whose names starts with letter K. So you can just click here on the criteria under names and apply. You can apply an expression builder or not, or you can just come here and type there K and you put there a star. You can put there 1 star or 3 stars. Okay, after putting it there, that means our name is going to start with K and other following values. Okay, so we can just come here and run to see the output. So the output will be all names starts with K have been brought in one query. Okay, so you can first save the changes. They told you to save it as starts with K, so you can press OK, and this query will be an output of those ones whose names start with letter K. So here they say that create a report for the students table and name it students report. Okay, so we can come back to our database here, and we are going to create a report for the students table. So you come to create and you come here to a report wizard. Okay, on the report wizard, still you do the same. You can take all the fields at once. You say next. You can press next. Even you can press next there. Next, and here you can give it a name. They told us to rename it as students report, so we can finish it. After finishing it, our report is going to be displayed here. But now this hash 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 means that the data is not, or the space here is not enough for that data. So you can just come to this report and come to its design view. When you come to its design view, we can see that this number is not enough. So we can select this one, or we can first select this student's number. This is student's number, and we resize it. Okay, after resizing it, we can select all of these ones, and we put them this side. Even the gender, we make it to come this side, such that we can increase the size of this number field. Okay, if we try to increase it like that and save our changes, if we come back to the layout view of our data, still the data, the space there is not enough. So you try to increase its size such that the data there can fit in the given space. Thank you for watching this video. In the next video, we shall look at how we can create queries, how we can create reports, and other features of the database. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Thank you for watching.